You are welcome again to HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. A more critical look into the R. Kelly case will leave many wondering what R. Kelly exactly did wrong. All the man did was live with his girlfriends and treat them well, and also manage domestic conflict the way he deemed fit, and that he felt suited his relationship. No man that barters his wives or leave-in girlfriends like the government tries to portray R. Kelly will do it for decades, and have no accident happen all through the years. At the minimum, someone will break an arm or someone will sustain wounds from injury that will leave visible scars on their body. And if it is psychological like the government and some sadist reporters suggest, at least one of the women will run mad or lose their head in a way at a certain point. No real abuser can mistreat all those women for all those years so smoothly to leave no such traces of evidence. It's just not possible. Taking a good look at every woman that came forward to say R. Kelly did this to me, and analyzing the things they complain about will make you sick to the stomach, especially when you know that it is because of these reports that R. Kelly is languishing in a federal prison, dealing with a 30-year sentence yet to be increased to an unimaginable number. According to Jim DeRogatis, some of the women such as Dominique simply said R. Kelly tried to break me but I didn't let him, and for this a man is in prison. She even went as far as explaining the detail and saying whenever things were good, he was so nice to me, but when things were bad to me and when they had misunderstanding he was hushed to her. I would challenge the government to show me which married couple, even those between the senators and their partners, doesn't experience such dynamics. Some of the experiences the women have described were situations when the two partners wrestled it out while they fought. It's not uncommon that people in relationships find themselves in a pulling and tagging. Even the district attorney herself, Kim Foxx, did experience this with her husband when he called 911 to rescue him from his own darling woman. For as long as the wrestling does not escalate into situations that may lead to physical harm and a bloody exchange, it's not wrong for people in a relationship to fight. It's actually healthy practice to disagree and make up in relationships, and even the government prosecutors know this. I guess that's why the 911 call by Kim Foxx's husband did not result in an indictment. It is rather surprising to see that she is at the forefront of trying to run R. Kelly's relationships and to determine how best he should husband his women. Perhaps she truly wanted to hurt her husband that night when the incident happened, and thinks R. Kelly could be like her. When Azriel Clary, for example, decided to change her mind and join the government as a witness against R. Kelly, she later returned to television with Gayle King alleging R. Kelly was a controlling man. When it came to describing how controlling he was, however, just like the other women, all she could say was you had to knock on the door before entering a space, you couldn't talk to other men, and more such silly allegations that to me do not hold water. I am not sure anyone would live with 4 to 6 people who don't remember to knock at a bathroom door to make sure no one is using it before they get in. And if you are a man of multiple women, even the bedrooms and living spaces can become private spaces for the moment. You therefore would want anyone to announce their presence before they join you. That's for sure very important. I personally wouldn't want anyone to walk into a meeting I am having with a business partner with no prior notice, and remember R. Kelly's home was his office too. I don't see what's wrong with a man defining the rules in his own mansion, especially for women that felt so entitled. If you want to stay with me, you must behave and follow a certain line of conduct, he said, and for that he was arrested. This is exactly what the district attorney was making her husband understand when he called 911. She probably takes care of the poor man and will dictate how he conducts himself in front of her, or while he squats in her house, so to say. The one who pays the bills usually sets the rules, and one is free to leave if they don't feel comfortable. By sending R. Kelly to prison over such bogus claims, all the government is trying to do is to determine how R. Kelly husbands his own women, and that is improper, if not unacceptable. And because they found no real case in this, the prosecutors sat down in a meeting and concocted charges that are way out of line with the allegations against R. Kelly. The allegations were R. Kelly spanked me, R. Kelly tried to control me, R. Kelly tried to break me, we fought at the back of his Hummer, sometimes he was good and other times he was bad, but I love him anyway. Then the charges were he transported women across state lines. He operated a criminal enterprise, And he exploited the same women he took great care of like princesses. How contradicting. All those charges were simply forced onto R. Kelly, and he only lost in New York because he lacked sufficient legal counsel. We therefore cannot say he lost the case. If he had been offered sufficient legal counsel, which is a right of every American, and if the judge had been more responsible with the case and listened to Jennifer Bonjean's concerns, I am confident the story would have been different. While the government is trying to use the age issue as a scapegoat to justify their bogus and inappropriate charges, there is nothing to prove that these women were underage when they got intimate with R. Kelly. Perhaps the prosecutors and New York jurors were also living in R. Kelly's mansion when these things happened and were able to tell exactly when the intimacy started, but relying on the words of these very entitled women who were only with R. Kelly for his money, and even went as far as lying under oath, is not different from basing on hearsay to imprison a man for 30 years. These women completely lacked the credibility for their word to be enough to rely on and make a conviction. Whatever happened to the court's prerequisite that witnesses be credible persons? R. Kelly should therefore have been acquitted for a lack of evidence in New York. According to Black Jesus, I am beginning to realize that we men need more protection in these kind of cases where women are arraigned before you to accuse you of this and that. I have seen many brothers in my lifetime being locked up after being falsely accused by women. Meanwhile, the rate at which these particular women in the R. Kelly case changed their minds is quite alarming. It's not supposed to be this way, that every time a woman feels unhappy with you, they can simply turn around and send you to prison successfully with the help of our government. It's very concerning indeed. According to Vincent Clay, they all know R. Kelly is not the person they want the world to believe he is. If R. Kelly had hostages in his house like they suggested when they indicted him, wouldn't he have to stay home and watch over his captives not to escape? Considering he still went to shows and business meetings and parties, it's more like placing him in two places at the same time. Or maybe he had guards surrounding the perimeter so that no one escaped. The whole story sounds far-fetched. Also, for sure, where are the bruises of those he abused physically? And if it was psychological torture, why ain't they in a sort of mental hospital or rehabilitation center? All these claims were simply created to get R. Kelly arrested and placed into a space where they could freely lie on him the way they wished. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.